Hi, this is Mico BMW of San Francisco. So today we just got our first 2 series. We got the 228 and we also have the M235. So we're going to take this car, we're going to do a quick walk around, then we'll take it on a test drive. So this is the base model. This car has no extra options. What you're seeing is what you have. These are 17-inch rims, standard. This car is priced at $32,100 before destination charge, $33,025 included destination. Let's just do a quick walk around. Pretty big trunk, seats fold down. The releases are here, pretty much like the old car. They split in 2 pieces. The battery's in the back. It's kind of open, but this is where the battery is, and there's a little bit of open space. Again, like all new BMWs, most new BMWs, these are round flat tires, so you don't have a spare. With the base model, you have manual seats. So BMW manual seats, they're a little bit different. It's tricky to get, the trickiest part is to get the seat up or down. So you release this part, and then you either push yourself down, or you need to pull yourself up. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it does work pretty well. The back seat. Release this, move the whole thing to the back, and let's try the back seat. Alright, so I'm in the back, I move the seat back. As you can see, so right now it does kind of touch my knees, but I'm still comfortable. There's no armrest, but there's a little bit of a storage down here. And I do have my own AC outlets, and there's a charger in the back as well. So this is it. This is pretty much a base model. Nice clean lines, good looking car. It's slightly longer than the previous model, the 1 Series, but overall it's very tight. And next we're gonna drive it.
Action. Go ahead.
All right, so now we're gonna take the 225 on a test drive. Again, this is the base model, 2-liter, 4-cylinder, 240 horsepower, 265 pounds of torque. 8-speed automatic transmission. Same as most new BMWs, it has drive and dynamics control, so you can change from comfort mode to sport mode. It does have automatic start-stop, and that's about it. And the main thing about this car is just the way it feels. I just drove it today the first time. We drove it for a couple of blocks from the dealership, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really nice car. Alright, so we'll go for a couple of blocks through the city, then we'll get on the highway. Right now this is comfort mode. Pretty quiet inside. The sound of this car, they changed the sound of this engine for this year, for 2014 year model. It sounds much throatier. It sounds a little bit like the 6-cylinder engine. It does not sound like it sounded previous 2 years. It did not change the power, did not change anything. Another thing they changed is they updated the programming for the automatic start-stop. There was a lot of pushback from BMW owners for this option. So let me see if I'm gonna get to working right now. So I'm gonna try to do a full stop. And that's it. So it's pretty quiet. The car does not shake when it turns off. There is a little bit when it turns back on, but it's not as bad as it used to be. All right, so we're going on the highway. This is pretty amazing. This sound is really cool, and this is a comfort mode. I'm not pushing it too hard. And again, the main thing is just the combination of the engine, the power, with a lighter car, lower to the ground, and this is just like a perfect sports car feel. We're gonna go for let's go for just one front exit. Now, while you're driving, we can change it to sport mode. So right now, I'm just gonna push sport. Look, I'm about 2,000 RPM, right? Put sport, goes up to 3,000 right away. So now the steering gets even tighter. And now it's more responsive. It just kind of like, it wants to go faster. It keeps the RPM higher. So I'm not even pushing the gas right now. It holds it over 4,000 RPM. So it's easier to get to the passing speed or just accelerate. So I'm gonna take this exit. And we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, there's a really nice sharp turn here on the exit, and I'm going going to take it a little bit faster than usual. Not going to do anything dangerous. Traction control is on. But I just want to see what it feels like throwing this into the corner. There we go. Well, it's pretty much like it's on rails. It holds perfect. That's what you want from a rear-wheel drive sports car. Alright, so next thing, what we're going to do here, we're going to do U-turn. See how it handles the U-turn, what the turning radius is. Nice and tight. And right now it's still in sport mode, but when I don't push too hard, it still shifts normally. So the transmission is very responsive to your driving, to your input. You keep the throttle down, it'll go all the way to the red line. We're not going to go to the red line, but we could. Alright. So next we're going to go up the hill. We're going to take it up the hill. Let's do a stop and start from the stop. Alright, well, yeah, as usually there's a lot of torque when you go on the sharp hill. Traction kind of goes away from the rear wheels, but it still handles great. Like all BMWs, you do have the hill hold assist. So I'll show it again. When I stop, make it a full stop. Take my foot off the brake. 1, 2, 3. Now it rolls back. But it gives you about 2.5 seconds before it rolls back. Another thing with the start-stop. So when you're in sport mode on this car, start-stop does not work. You don't need to turn it off at all. And when you're going up the hill, even, let's see, I'm going to try the comfort mode. I'm going to do a full stop. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it should keep the engine running. Stop. Yeah, you see, it knows I'm going up the hill, so the engine keeps running. If it was on a flat surface, the engine would have shut off. Alright, so now we'll just do a little bit of normal street driving. As you can see, the layout is very similar to the new 3 Series or the 4 Series. One small change, the cup holder layout was different. What they did, they split this cover, so you have 2 separate small covers. I can take this one out and I can use the cup holder, and the other one has a slot for the key, and I can take it as well, take it out as well. I'll just drop the key. So you do have 2 nice size cup holders, but if you don't want to use, drink in the car, then you can just cover them and use it for something else. Funny enough, it does have an actual cigarette lighter. Most new cars don't do that anymore. Alright, so now just to try, I'm going to put it in Eco Pro. So it shifts much lower. It has this new thing, it's the coast mode. So when you're coasting, the engine pretty much at idle. So it, again, improves your mileage. I've heard that Eco mode improves your mileage by about 20%. It's really hard to measure it, but it definitely does help. Let's see what else we want to talk about. I think that's it. So one last thing we want to do, we're going to go to my favorite spot. We're going to go to Vermont Street on Ventura Hill and take it through the twisties. One more thing I'm going to try here. I'll put it back in Eco Pro and just take it up the hill. So it still responds fine. There's a lot of torque. It's a low-end torque. The car does not need to wait for it to downshift. It's still, even in Eco Pro, you're not going to have any problem with going up the hill. Try to accelerate faster in Eco Pro. Still doesn't give me any warnings, so you can still drive fast if you want, but Eco Pro will help you get better mileage. Alright, so last part, I'm going to put it in sport, and we're going to take this twisties. It should be fun. Well, this was really effortless. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you can get a good feel of it while you're just watching on the video, but it's a great car. It's definitely, I feel like it's going to be a good car. It's going to sell well, and our owner is going to be happy with it. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is me again, Mico, BMW San Francisco. So we just took the new 228i on a test drive, and now we have the M235i. I don't know why it's called M235, but it's maybe because they all come with M package built in. They all come with, if it's an automatic, comes with automatic sport transmission. And now we're just going to take one out and see how it compares to the 228 and to the previous 135. So right now we are in comfort mode. So we usually start. And we're just going to leave it as it is. I have the sport displays up so you can see the power and torque. Front display, it says M235 right there, so it has a nice M Sport package. You see the aluminum trim, the new M steering wheel, paddle shifters. Let's see if I can get around this guy, because I'm sure it's going to slow me down. So we'll go one more block straight on the street, and then we'll get on the highway. Same ideas with the 228. If you're in comfort mode, the start-stop works. If you go into sport, it turns off. Or you can turn it off by itself if you just push the A off button, and then the engine will keep running. Alright, so we're going to stop hard behind the police car. I guess we're not going too fast this time. So start-stop is on, the engine just went off. And right now, if I take the foot off the brake, or if I turn the steering wheel or go to sport mode, the engine turns back on. Usually the easiest thing is just keep it as normal, take my foot off the brake, engine's on, ready to go. Alright, so that's highway patrol. It's definitely going to slow us down a little bit. But still, we can get a good feel for the car. So again, this is the normal 3-liter, 6-cylinder, inline-6 twin-scroll turbocharger, 300 horsepower, 300 pounds of torque. For a car this light, it's lighter than the previous 1 Series, and it's connected to the 8-speed transmission versus the old 6. So you definitely get better power, better response, everything. Alright, let's see where it's going to go. Is getting off the freeway, and we can do a little bit of, I'm not going to go fast, I'm just going to go to sport mode just to see how it responds. So it really kicks in sport. Steering wheel gets much tighter. And it's just fun. It's just pure fun behind the wheel. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing we did with the previous car. We're going to take this exit, we're going to take a tight turn. So compared to the other car, we have the sport suspension, nice downshift. Yeah, definitely suspension makes it easier. We have the 18-inch rims. They hold the road better, so we just feel much more confident going, taking a turn faster. And we're going to do the U-turn. We're going to do it faster as well. You can hear the sound. The car sounds great. You kind of can hear it through the closed windows. I'm sure it's going to be even better when you open the windows. And we'll try to take the hill. We'll just put it on comfort mode for now. See how it feels. Again, there's absolutely no effort. 300 horsepower in a car that small. You just have to be easy and not to push too hard, otherwise you're gonna start spinning wheels. Try to roll windows down to see if you can hear the engine better. And we'll try Echo Pro. It defeats the purpose of the M235, but it is there. Well, it really cuts the power down. Like it's like a totally different car right now. It does drive, but feels very different. So I'm going to try to accelerate harder at the Echo Pro. Still can do it. Still accelerates okay. So you just need to step on it further down and it kicks in. Enough of that. Alright, so I usually don't mess with manual option to Tronic, but this one has these nice paddles, so we're going to try the manual shift right now. I'm going to make a turn and see how it feels. Alright, so now in second gear, third, fourth. 8 speed is kind of makes it a little bit too complicated to deal with it because you just have to shift too hard. Not too hard, but too often. First gear, second, third. Well, it's pretty fun, but again, if you have to go through all 8 of them, it just gets too much. So let's put it back to automatic. Oops, turn. One thing, it definitely feels faster compared to the previous drive in the 228. I'm not speeding, but I feel like I did the same thing in half the time. Alright, so let's put on sport mode. Now let's try the twisties. Steering ratio is much tighter, so I don't need to steer as much, and it's super tight. I don't have head-up display, so I can even tell how fast I'm going. But the control is just amazing with this car. You can do anything with this car. You feel very confident when you drive it, and it's just a lot of fun. It's very nicely tuned, and this car is new, so we're not pushing too hard. But obviously, once you drive it a little bit more, you're gonna get. It's going to get more tuned to your driving style, and it's going to be even better experience. That's about it. Great car. Thanks for watching.